speaker. She is a living proof that your past does not define your potential. This is an interesting story because as a child, Sharon was labeled as slow, stupid, undiagnosed with dyslexia, and she was constantly overlooked when opportunities came her way. But today, she's an accomplished interior architectural designer. She's an entrepreneur, and she's someone who has rebuilt her life after burning out both in work and at home. This is probably her first time sharing her story and on stage, but her courage, her insight, her authenticity, I think it's going to stay with you for a very long time. So let's give her a very big encouraging round of applause for sharing the story today. So ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the inspiring voice for resilience, Sharon Ching.
Hi everyone. Right. For the past 20 years, I helped many of my clients design beautiful houses, turning many undervalued properties into million-dollar assets. Who want to be that? Right. This is a before, and that is the after. My clients spent $2 million in rebuilding the whole house from scratch. And it took us 2 years to finish up. For them, it's all worth it because end of the day, they are able to live in this beautiful built-to-last home. The best thing is, the property price went up. Singapore, right? But along the way, I was thinking, why do you spend the same amount of time and effort in rebuilding ourselves? Because the most important house you ever built is you. That's this body. But the truth is, many of us just prefer status quo. Look strong from the outside, but inside, we do not know. We just keep going. This house looks strong and sturdy. Initially, my client just want to do some simple refurbish. Painting, patch up the cracks, do some change of tiles, and carpentry works. And then move in fast. But when we start hacking, we found a huge crack in the foundations. That's my hand. Probably you can see how huge the cracks is. Thank goodness we didn't build anything on top. If not, the whole thing will collapse. It might be fatal. And this house resonates a lot with me. Many people will ask me, what do you do for a living? I'll tell them, I'm a full-time working mom. Interior architectural designer. I was a licensed builder, not Portugal. Right. Many of them would say, oh, you design beautiful houses. You work in beautiful houses? I was thinking, probably half truth. Today, I dress like that for you, but usually I don't. And today I wear makeup foundations. But most days, my face are filled with pollutions from the construction's foundations. My face, my body, and even my shoe. I work with tough men in the construction site. I speak very loud, and sometimes I try to connect with them in their language, dialect, Singlish. But one language I don't speak with them is vulgarity. There's one time this Mr. Toh, an old-time builder, he's looking at me. Sharon, because you're here, I spare you for my vulgarity. Then I say, oh, thank you, Mr. Toh. You give me a break. Yeah, that's how I connect with the tough man, right? And let me ask, how many of you have climbed those scaffolding before? Show of hand. Huh? Oh, there's a lady here. Good, I'm not alone. I climbed those scaffolding when I was 4 months pregnant. And that's my feet covered with pollution. That one is more recent. It's outside the building. I even climbed a roof before. My client thought I grow fat in the midst. I didn't correct them because I don't want them to seem that I'm weak. So I always put on a strong front. Yep, that's me. Yep, I continue to ignore the cracks inside me. And eventually, we will collapse. And let me bring you back 10 years ago. I have a team to manage. I'm a micromanaging boss. My team is always very stressed out by me. You saw the construction site. Sometimes don't you find it's like a war zone? The drilling, the hacking. It sounds like machine gun, right? It's so tough and harsh. I drive them crazy. Why? We have deadlines to meet. If we miss the deadline, we might face penalty and even lawsuit. So they are always very stressed out. So they came and they left. At home, I'm a lion mom. I stress my kids too. I speak, probably my job hazard. I speak very loud. I'm very stern too. When I go home late, I open the door, I can hear my children running back to the room. Why? I ask them. They're afraid of me asking them, why are you not sleeping yet? Have you finished your homework? Mothers, sounds familiar? Yeah, they are always very scared of me. They just follow instructions. Behavior modification. There's no close relationship. The truth is, I'm a control freak, both at work and at home. Then the perfect storm came. COVID-19 pandemic. I have the full package, not the government grant or the funding because I'm self-employed, but the crisis. Yep, my business became lean, not because of my design, but because of my burnout. And I was stuck in the construction site for almost 8 hours every day. Because remember those days? The construction sites, the foreign workers are spiked in the numbers. And that time, we have to be permanent, almost there, to watch over them. If the numbers spiked, our construction site will be shut down. So the strict restriction that we have to follow, we even got a warning. The warning was 6-figure penalties or even jail term. My name is up there. That was so stressful. Yep. And at home, my daughter, older one, struggled in school, both academically and emotionally. To the point we had to withdraw her from the mainstream school to homeschool her. And my younger one, taking her PSLE, I can't even help her because I'm stuck. Then in the morning, the authority calls to check on us. The neighbors around complained because we are making so much noise. Everybody's work from home. In the afternoon, the school called. Mrs. Chong, your daughter didn't appear in the home-based learning. Mrs. Chong, your daughter didn't do well in her school. Wow, I was so drained. Then, the worst was at night. I can't even switch off my phone because my dad landed in ICU. Remember the period of time? It's difficult to go into the hospital, COVID-19. I have to keep my phone at my bedside. I'm the main caregiver. And that night came. I jumped out of bed. I picked up the phone. Hello, is this Mrs. Chong? "We are very sorry. This is Dr. Tan calling. Your dad had just passed away at 3:15 a.m. I was shocked. At that moment, I was crushed. This crush forced me to pause. And I realized the house that I was building out there is teaching me the house that I have neglected inside me. Thankfully, through this process, I have a pastor who walked with me. And she told me this: "Sharon, the very thing that didn't break you will build you stronger." This echoed in me. The very thing that didn't break you will build you stronger. And this became the foundations towards my healing. And through this process, it birthed my 3-step journey. Redesigned, rebuilt, and rise. Redesigned. Just like designer, before we design any house, we need to look at our original blueprint and look at where are the areas that we can improve. So for me, I had to step back and look closely into my life again and ask tough questions. Where are the areas that I have been wasting energy? And why am I burning out? And where are the areas I need to reset my boundaries again to make space to grow and also to dream again? So I need to redraw my new blueprint, picture it, model it, and start drawing. Next, rebuilding. Rebuilding is a very, very tough process. Just like building any buildings, before you can go up the building, you need to go down deep into the foundations or even below the foundations. During this process in constructions, you can see rats, cockroaches. I even saw snakes crawling out from that foundations. And to my surprise, when I'm trying to rebuild myself, my past traumas, my fears, all resurface. At that period of time, I cry and I cry. And someone told me, it's okay to cry. It's a process of healing. And it's okay to ask for help. And that is the best thing you can help yourself. Self-care, self-love. So after I have done the foundations, pillars are the very important thing to host the building. For me, my 3 pillars are my faith, my spiritual anchor, because I know someone out there is taking care and watching over me. My body, during that process of my burnout, I developed this chronic eczema. I had to force myself to eat clean, detox my body, and exercise. And quality sleep is very important. Then, emotion connections. You all heard about this sentence? Laughter is the best medicine. So I reconnect with my loved ones, my friends that didn't give up on me. We laugh and we cry together. And indeed, this is the best medicine you can ask from. After the foundations have done, the pillars are up, and it's time to rise. From ashes and dust, million-dollar building rise. For me to rise is not because it's easy. It's because I choose to face my fear one by one, year after year. From being invisible to be nominated as one of the top leaders in future London Academy. I went from being laid off by my dream job, an international company, design company, spiral into depression, slowly pick myself up, to become, after many years, to become the top entrepreneur in Singapore. And I went from failing all my school national English exam because of my undiagnosed dyslexia, to become a speaker today, standing here, sharing my story with you all. Thank you. I don't just build buildings now. I don't run empty. I build life. The most important thing you can fill a house is love. How many people have teenagers? After I pause to heal, my teenager daughter look at me, "Mommy, you're my BFF." Sometimes she call me to her room, "Can I talk to you?" Whoa, I drop everything and go to her room. Yep, she chose her 18th birthday with me for a mommy and daughter trip instead of partying and drinking with her friends. Isn't that truly what's matter? Yep. Today, I want to inspire people to redesign what is within, to rebuild what is their strength, and rise to their true purpose. And let me leave you with this. The most important house you ever built is you. Thank you.
Thank you. Since this is your first speech, right? So first thing first, how do you feel?
I'm still trembling.
Still trembling. Can we help? Well, can you do a